And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be attacking a puzzly game with a lot of spheres. Today we're going to be looking at Dimension. This is a puzzle and logic game from Kosmos, brought to the US by Thames and Kosmos, or Kosmos and Thames. It's for 1 to 4 players. It says 30 minutes on the box. It's probably closer to 15 to 20 minutes actually, but it's a puzzle game where you're stacking things and there's certain rules that you can't break. Let's take a look. At the beginning of Dimension, everyone gets a player board and 3 spheres of the 5 different colors. And it doesn't matter where you put them, but you kind of put them together just for ease of use. And everyone starts with 10 points here. Everyone gets a player aid to help them understand what tasks they're going to be doing this round. Now, one thing I noticed when I got the game is these spheres are actually a lot bigger in person than they look in video. They're pretty big. I mean, look, it's even bigger than my thumb, and they are quite large, which is nice. They looked smaller on other videos I had seen, but they are quite big and nice, and they're wooden and they're painted like that. So what are you trying to do? On your turn, there's going to be a certain set of rules that come out, and you're going to be stacking these spheres on here. Let's show you what this means. So the game lasts 6 rounds. In each round, 6 cards are going to come out, and these are going to give you rules as to how you can or cannot stack the spheres. In this case, for every blue ball you have out there, it has to touch at least 1 black ball, and vice versa. If you have a black ball out there, it has to touch at least a blue one. This one says no color ball can be on top of any black balls. This says there has to be exactly 1 and only 1 black ball. This says if you have an orange, it has to touch at least 1 blue. If you have a blue, it has to touch at least 1 orange. Now, if you don't play an orange or a blue on this would not be, basically broken, because if you place a blue, it has to touch an orange. But of course, over here we see we have to place at least 1 orange, and oranges can't touch black. Oof. So there's a timer here, and we're going to flip this timer, and everyone's going to go until the timer's out, and then I'll show you how it scores. So let's try this in real time here. Let me get the board set up, and we'll get ready to go. And go. Okay, let's see. We need 1 black and 1 orange. We know that. And only 1 black and 1 orange. Blue has to touch orange. Orange cannot touch black. And blue has to touch black, so that's valid. And it doesn't say anything about whites, so let's just fill in a bunch of whites for now. It doesn't say anything about green, so let's just fill in a bunch of greens. You're trying to stack as many as you can while keeping all the rules. Oh, nothing can be on black. So we're going to want this black to be up top somewhere. But the blue has to touch a black. Ooh, and it has to touch an orange. So maybe we could put a blue there, maybe a green there, and there's only 1 orange. And so nothing can be on top of black. Blue has to touch black. And what if that's not touching orange. And let's say we go, let's see, nothing can be on top of black. Let's see. Oh, my brain is going crazy. And okay, time's up. Now, of course, you guys could always pause it and think of a better solution. So what you do now is we go through, we count the marbles. There's always 7 on the bottom half, so on the bottom level. So 7, 8, 9. Now, if I'd stack 2 more, that's the most you can have on there. It's 11. So right now I have 9. So theoretically, I have 9 points. And then we go through each of these. Does each blue touch at least 1 black? Yes. Does each black touch at least 1 blue? Yes. I did good on this one. Nothing stacked on black. Correct. Only 1 black. Correct. Does blue touch orange? Yes, right there. Does black touch orange? It cannot, and it does not. It almost does, but it doesn't. This one's over here, and this one's underneath over here. And 1 orange, yes. Okay, so because I get the 7, 8, I get the 9 points for 7 spheres, 8, 9 total spheres. And since I did every single one of these, I get what's called a bonus chip. I'll show you how these score at the end of the game. So basically, I would get 9 points. I get a 10 and give a 1 back, and a bonus chip. Not a bad score. That's actually pretty good. Now let's get ready to try this again. Essentially, we will flip these all out. These will all go to the next thing, and I'll get this reset up, and we'll do 1 more round of this. Okay, so the first rule is there's got to be exactly 1 blue. And white has to touch white. Nothing can be on orange. Nothing can be on green. Green has to touch green. And black cannot be on anything. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, here we go. Let's start the timer. Okay, there's gonna be exactly one blue, and we can't have anything on orange or green. So let's put a bunch of blues down here. Black can't be on anything, so let's fill these up with black. And white has to touch white, so we can put a white here, and this white will touch that white. Oh wait, we only need one blue. Oh crap, I'm screwing up already. Greens have to touch green, but then nothing can go on green. Eey, this is tough. Let's see, and we have white touch white, one blue. Black cannot go anything, so black has to be on the bottom, yep. And, okay, orange, nothing can go on orange, but nothing can go on green either. So what if I just take the green out? Let's go orange, orange, orange. Nothing can go on orange. Crap, so I can't, gosh, this is a tough one. Nothing can go on green, nothing can go on orange. So, oh, time's up. My brain hurt. Okay, so we've got 8 total spheres. There's one blue. White touches white. There's nothing on orange. There's nothing on green. There's no greens. So now this is a chance where there is no green, so this is still good because if you place a green, it has to touch a green. It doesn't force you to do it. And oh, black cannot be on anything. That's good. So I get a bonus chip because I played at least one of every color. No, I didn't. I didn't have the other 2 greens. So I got 7 and 8. And I got them all right, and that's good. But I didn't get the bonus chip, because in order to get the bonus chip, you have to get them all right and play at least one of each color. In this case, I didn't, so I don't get the bonus chip, but I get my 8 points. So I would give a 10, I'd give back 2, and that's 8. Now, if when scoring this, let's say, for example, I had something on the orange. And this says this cannot be on, nothing can be on orange. I would have had 7, 8, 9, but for every one I do wrong, it's -2. So that would have been 7 points. And let's say the white didn't touch the white. Let's say the white was over here or something like that. Then in this case, I would have missed this one too, and I would have had 7, 8, 9, -4, 5 points. So that's how you minus the points on this game. Now at the end of the game, we talked about those bonus chips. If you have none of them, you -6 points at the end of the game. If you have 1, it's -3. If you have 2, it's -1. So it goes -6, -3, -1, 0, +1, +3, +6. So it's like this sliding scale where you really need a couple of them, but then if you're gonna get more, you might as well try to go for all of them. Of course, you're always trying to get these, but that shows you the sliding scale of the final game scoring. Now again, the game ends when you've done 6 rounds of this, and that's when you would get there. Now there's sometimes instances where things contradict each other. Like, hey, white can't be with white, but white has to be next to white. And the normal game has you leave them in there, so which basically means you're gonna have to fail at least one of those. But there is a variant where if you want a little bit easier of a game, if there's a contradiction out there, you can take it out, put it to the bottom of the pile, and put a new one out to replace it. That's the way I prefer to do it, because I like having a possibility of a perfect score in every round. You can also, instead of doing 6 cards here, you could make it a lot harder with 8 task cards. Wow, that's really hard. So there's other variants that you can do exactly like this, but that's essentially it. After 6 rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner. All right, I gotta admit, I've seen the box, I've seen videos of this thing, and it never really excited me. It just looks like, actually from the box, it looks like just an abstract game, with a bunch of balls or spheres. And, I watched, I think, Z and Tom's review, and I'm like, oh, that seems cool, but it didn't really, blow me away from their review. I got a copy of this, and oh my gosh, I've got to tell you, this is my favorite puzzle game I think I've ever played. This is amazing. I love it because I have this solo game called Logic Dots. And it's a solo game I got at Barnes & Noble, and it's similar, there's 8 or 9 rules that it gives you, and you're trying to figure out where all the squares go. And this is very similar to that, but it's even better because A, you've got a timer, and B, you're kind of fighting against other players. Now granted, this game really is a multiplayer solitaire game. There's no interaction with the players, there's no stealing something from them, there's no what they do and does, changes what you do or vice versa. It really is multiplayer solitaire, but I'm okay with that because you're experiencing it together and you're trying to just beat their score, and that's fine. Of course, you can play the solo game and try to always better yourself. And it actually plays as good as a solo game as it does with other players. It's 6.5 dozen than another. I love the best part of this game. The logic in this is great. The timer really gives you that tension. And the best part of this game is it's going to happen. At least three of the 6 rounds, someone is going to get to the point where they think they have gotten a bonus chip. Then they go, oh, I got this, and I got this, and I get this, and then they go, no! oh, my blue touches an orange, oh! And it happens every game, and that is what makes this game memorable and exciting, is watching people think they have all 8 rules, and you got all that, 6 rules, you're going crazy in your head trying to keep them all there, and you're putting them all there, and you'll get this time, and you're rushing, and at the last minute maybe you put something there, and you think you got it, and then something sneaks up, and you didn't get it, and you're like, oh, man. And this game should have been called No! Because that's what you'll be doing tons of times. If you like logic and puzzles, this is a knock it out of the park, amazing game. If you don't like logic and puzzle games, stay away from it. If you do, no brainer, that's Dimension.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.